step right up, where luxury meets lunacy, and the wedding world is our three-ring circus. We're your ringmasters, Marylen Exposito and Manolo Doreste, wedding pros with 50 years of combined experience and a flair for the dramatic. From show-stopping venues and wild vendor tales to jaw-dropping I-dos, this is your all-access pass to Happily Ever After. Welcome to Ringleader Show.
Ever been to a wedding or an event and the dance floor is just slammed and you're like, who are these people? Who's this DJ? I got a better one for you. If you went to any football game at the Hard Rock Stadium and you're like, wait a second, I want that guy to play at my next event. And you look up, you look at the DJ at either of these events and you're like, damn, that's one good looking motherfucker. Well, chances are you were listening to Rock With You. Our guests today are Slim and Ross, our creators and founders of Rock With You. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Run it back. Do it again. Say it again. That was the best opening ever. Those good-looking mother truckers.
They are, and FYI, Volume, I'm not just talking about you. So
Yeah,
stop
hey.
taking credit for that.
Yeah, DJ Volume, she was hyping you up earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not about the looks, but about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
totally.
Big UM fan. They're ranked number 4.
Number 4.
Let's go.
Let's go you.
Let's
so
go.
guys, I wanted to welcome you. Thank you so much for coming today.
Yeah, cheers.
This is we're just going to have a cool, calm, collected conversation. And my first question wanted to be like, talk to me about Rock With You. How did you guys get together? How did you say, okay, this is what we're going to do?
Yeah. You want me to run it? You want to go
You start,
over
man.
here? Many, many years ago. What was this? About 15.
Your hat says 06.
I know. So we incorporated Rock With You in 06. We kind of had a dream in 06. Didn't really do a whole lot with it. I was working at a school. He was still in school. And then by 2010 is kind of when we went all in on it. He was out of school. I left my other jobs and we just went all in on Rock With You. But we worked for another company and saw what the biz was all about. And we saw that we could do things different and better. And so after a gajillion gigs together, we just kept having side chats. And then that just kind of led into, let's do our own thing, you know?
And for me, this is kind of like a means to an end. This is actually the only thing I've ever done since I was a kid. So I think it was just kind of an inevitability that,
His only job has been a DJ. Can you imagine? Like, I've had 1,000 shitty jobs. This fucker, his only job has been a DJ.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So-
And almost from the hats, I can see almost 20 years, right? 20
Yep.
years next year.
Yep,
Yeah. Which is
Well,
insane.
Are we celebrating at the Hard Rock?
we are.
Yeah. No. We only go to the Hard Rock when they pay us. We don't want to pay them too.
Can we scrap that from?
Yeah.
We love you, Hard Rock.
We love you.
We love you. You can take all my money.
Yeah.
So I know you guys are DJ and entertainment, and you've added live musicians.
Yeah.
And from the industry, I understand that you guys created what we call now fusion. So
Crazy.
talk to me about how that came to be and what idea was like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should add a singer. Maybe we should add a trumpet player. How did that come to be?
I wouldn't really say like we created like the concept. I think we just kind of made it our own and refined it and made like a different, I'd say like incarnation of it. Like DJs and musicians have been something that's pretty common. I think that's what we started as, but over time we kind of refined it into like actually a full functioning band. So it's not just a DJ with a bunch of random musicians. It's essentially what you would expect out of a band, but instead of having like a lead singer and a guitarist, you would have a DJ, but it's still kind of the same principles and the same structure and fluid as you expect from a band. So I think that's what we took and we just kind of made it our own, and that's what we call fusion.
What I find really phenomenal about it is, we all get all sorts of different clients. And, sometimes they're heavily Spanish, heavily, Latino, heavily, or, totally American. Yeah. But you guys find a way, and if you can speak a little bit about that, where you're like, okay, this is what you need for fusion based on, your audience. How do you, get to that?
I mean, there's only so many ways to like reinvent the fusion wheel. right? It's everything is going to be DJ inspired. Like the fusion only works with the DJ. And then when we have drummer, percussion, horns, singers, that's just kind of sitting with the client. Some people are like, I want to hear Beyonce. I don't want a wedding singer up there singing Beyonce. So, okay, singers aren't for you. Let's stick with DJ, drums, bass, and a horn section. And then the other half of the people are like, traditional bands, you're stuck on a set list, but I love what singers do. So I still want singers a part of fusion, but I just don't necessarily want them singing lead the whole time. So, I mean, in a modern wedding, fusion, this is my little elevator pitch, but fusion is just like a no-brainer because if you're in Miami, it's a very eclectic crowd down here. You need everything from just all types of global sounds, all the international sounds, the Latin sounds, the American homegrown sounds. And a traditional band is going to be very limited to what they can and can't do. And fusion, you can literally go across the board. You can keep it classy, keep it sophisticated. There's a lot of other versions of fusion that people do, but like Slim was saying, like we've really honed in on it. We've trademarked it. We've made it a tight band. So it's not just a shit show with people playing whatever they want on top of the DJ.
I'll tell you this, you're definitely the experts
Thank you.
in South Florida because, I've done weddings where DJs or DJ companies think that they can also do this fusion. And they start playing and I'm like, fuck, I hope they will stop. Like, get the trumpet off, get the sax off. Like, just let the DJ play because it just doesn't blend well.
You know what it is they offer the same tangibles. I mean, you probably have the same situation with photography. Like, it's what you do with it. Yeah, we might have the same cameras, but it's what's he doing versus what I'm doing. And there might be other DJ blends out there, DJ live band blends out there, hybrids. But we really have honed in on the sound and when to play and when not to play. And we come up with our own original lines on cover songs and we produce our own tracks to mix in through a cover show. And so there's a lot of ingredients that people might not see. They just experience a great show. They can't quite pinpoint it, but those are our special ingredients that we work literally every day on.
It'd be like the
and others, it's just they're just winging it.
It'd be like the equivalent of going to like a 5-star restaurant, and not only are the chefs curating their own recipes, they're actually growing the ingredients that they use to make the recipes, and they're the only ones that know the recipe, and they're the only ones that know how to get those. Let's say it's like an ingredient that only they know how to grow, or like a wine that only a certain vineyard is able to grow. So you combine that with, the best musicians in the world and the great team that we have, and it really lends itself to a very, very unique experience. So like what Ross was saying, there might be a lot of tangibles where people on the surface, they see DJ and musicians, it's a hybrid. Okay, the experience is going to be the same. But once you start peeling back the layers of what really truly goes into making our show, it's impossible to duplicate or replicate.
You're chemists.
I think you and I have had a lot of emails back and forth where you're like, well, Ross, this client's also looking at another quote unquote fusion band, and we're priced definitely on the higher end of the market because we know what we're capable of.
And well worth it.
You know what I mean?
Well worth it.
We understand it might not be in everybody's budget. We get it, but it drives us crazy when people are throwing a huge wedding and then they only allocate a small portion towards the entertainment. It's like, man, you're doing all of this. And that entertainment, if it's not the right entertainment, all of this goes bye-bye. You know what I mean? I'm assuming a lot of your shots and stuff aren't what they could be, But, yeah. You're way too quiet over here.
I don't know if it's my turn or not.
You're...
I thought I gave you the cue when I went like this.
So every circus has a ringleader, right? And every party has a DJ. How do you keep a spotlight on the couple while also running the show behind the booth? How do you find that balance?
I think it's fairly easy to keep a spotlight on a couple. I think most couples don't want attention on them the entire night. There's a lot of attention on at ceremony, and by the time they come to party, there's a couple of things I'll say throughout the night to kind of just bring it back to the reason why we're here. But, you know, I think you just kicking ass and throwing on a good show is showing spotlight to them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And there'll be moments whether they're on the stage jamming with their crowd, or the groom is crowd surfing, or the bride is, or even the bride is crowd surfing. So I don't think it's ever a point where people forget why they're there. But I think, well, like what Ross saying, I think at some point, bride and grooms, they want to feel one with their crowd. And I think that's really when it starts to like, when they're just kind of let loose, and they just kind of escape the moment and just kind of be present versus having it be spotlight.
Yeah.
Simply I just want to be with my people.
I learned that back in the day when I was giving too much spotlight to a bride and groom, and I remember the bride like looking at me going like, okay,
I'm good.
and I'm like, yeah, like read the room, Ross, read the room. That was my wake up call.
Have you had in one of those moments a time and place where you were almost required to tame it down, or like bring the crowd back, that kind of got out of control a little bit? And you're like, oh, we can't have a fire.
I would say, without naming venues, there's certain venues that it's about the dinner experience and it's about what they do. And sometimes if you get a little wild, it almost goes against their luxury brand. And the whole crowd, you can tell they are ready to go. But the venue itself is kind of pulling it back, like, band, calm down. You guys probably know the
One
venues I'm
particular
talking
coconut
about.
grove, absolutely,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But bring it back a notch. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like a governor, and we battle with that because people are hiring us for a specific experience that they're expecting. They don't necessarily know what's going on behind the scenes. All they see is what's happening, and they're like, oh, like, you guys are rock with you. This is the show that I saw at my friend's wedding. This is why I brought you here, without knowing, like, this is what we want to do, but unfortunately, like, we're kind of being handcuffed.
Yeah.
And it can get frustrating.
Yeah, that's
for
right.
sure.
We really sell like our girl Brittany, who works with us. She came up with Sophisticated Rager a long time ago, and it's like, oh my God, that's what we do. We're in the elevated luxury market of weddings and just events across the board. But we throw, when people hire us, they want a party, but they want to keep it classy. And so we kind of coined the term Sophisticated Rager.
That's fantastic.
You know?
Did you copyright that?
Have we tried to do that?
It's actually in process.
I think it is in process.
All right, let's get this.
We have like 4 trademarks right now. We're just keep trade. If you guys aren't doing it, like, we just keep trade. If Fusion is trademarked,
Yeah.
it's incredible how many cease and desist letters we send out to people. It's fun.
Oh, I knew about the fusion part
It's fun.
from another vendor. So that's how I knew that.
So
that was your term.
Speaking of those terms,
Yeah.
you guys pioneered something called continuous flow format, right?
Yeah.
So if you kind of like look at that in the terms of no dead air, right? Tell me why having silence on the dance floor or an event is kind of like the kiss of death.
Yeah, we talk about this a lot, and I got popcorn coming out of my mouth right now. Whose idea was it to give us popcorn?
It was his.
Do I have anything in my teeth?
That's the finger points.
What was the question?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was the question?
Oh, continuous.
Continuous flow.
Oh yeah, why is Daddy or the kiss of death?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, just, you can feel it.
Yeah.
Like, it just instant awkwardness, and it just, I think for us, it always just feels weird. So
What's the feeling in your gut if you're stepped away from your station and all of a sudden something happened out of your control?
I don't.
We
step
don't
away-
leave.
I don't step away
We
my
don't.
station just so that
It's against our religion.
They really don't. Like, we take them their food. They're like,
Yeah, I remember. Maybe we're at the Biltmore or somewhere, and you're like, "Hey, food for you in the green room." I'm like,
Sorry.
Anyway, somebody could bring it side stage, and then I'll have a song going. I'll kind of, no one's paying attention. It's during dinner, no one's dancing, and I'll make my way to the tech station and just bite, get back up on stage, and then maybe go get 2 more quick bites and out. Or I just don't even eat. It's just, I really try to eat before. But the whole continuous flow thing is like what Slim was saying, is like, you just feel it. It's awkward, and that's kind of this format that we've kind of really honed in on throughout the years, and made the Rock With You show that continuous flow, where unless there's a best man toast or a maid of honor toast or something, there is no dead air. It's how we introduce people to the stage with what we call stinger music. I've seen it with other DJs and bands. They'll introduce, let's bring Marylen up for a toast, have a big round of applause, and there's just like no music. Awkward. Or they'll say, hey, let's bring Marylen up for an applause, then hit play. Everything to us is like music is already going. Now we're talking on top of the music the same way you would feel at a concert or something.
Almost like
Just
a movie.
I was gonna say it's very theatrical.
You're looking at
and-
a
very
movie
theatrical.
and you're scoring everything.
Everything's
Yeah,
intentional.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, in theory, it sounds really like a no-brainer and like, oh, okay, for all you other DJs who are listening, yeah, you may play music when people come up if you don't already do that. But there's also a way to do it that I think we just have naturally pioneered so that, everything, like Ross saying, everything is done with a goal. It's like, what is the goal of what I'm trying to do at this exact moment? What effect am I trying to get out of the crowd? Or like, what am I trying to accomplish? You find the right music to achieve that goal.
It sounds like everything you've talked about has a lot of intentionality behind it.
It all has.
Everything's got
Everything is.
intention.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That really shifts the approach.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, with everything. I mean, we literally just had DJ meetings today on a Zoom with all of our guys. Like, just we kind of created this life cycle of from the time you open the room at 8 p.m. to the time it's over at midnight. A lot of people can rock the dance parts, but they neglect these in-between parts to kind of connect the night to make it this flow. Nobody can pinpoint it. You'll just walk out of the wedding being like, man, there was something special about tonight. I don't know what it was, but there was something special. And that we really, I think people focus on the macro so much at these gigs, and the macro to us is kind of easy. It's like, let's focus on this micro, as much as we can. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think that also what sets you guys apart is your energy. You guys have this energy the minute you get on the mic, the minute you walk in the room, the minute you walk in the ballroom, the guests are walking in the ballroom, they feel it, and it's this electricity. So, and obviously, you guys run a company, and both of you can't be everywhere as much as you want to at the same time. What is that interview process to say, this is a DJ we want on our team?
Also, like
Great question.
people who are interviewing future DJs, what are good things for them to ask, and how do you play that off with interviewing your own teams?
Great question.
I think first of all, attitude and personality is everything. I think that's what cuts through the first thing. You can just tell, you can feel people's vibes, you can feel their body language. Like, is this person going to be, are they going to fit our culture? Are they going to fit our vibe? So that's the first thing, and then everything from, knowledge of music to mic presence to stage presence. But all of that is like nothing if they don't have a good attitude.
Yeah, I would even say like we've had better luck with personalities that know nothing about DJing, but they have all the it factors, and we teach them how to DJ because we know that they can own the stage and they can, we've had badass DJs come across our path that in the underground DJ world, they are the dudes. But then you put them in a wedding format, they have no idea what they're doing. They don't know how to grab the room by its balls and just run it, So it goes with attitude, of course.
Yeah, call it attitude, call it it factor, personality. It's basically those intangibles that we're all saying, that stuff. Like, yeah, we can teach music, we can teach format, we can't teach what he was saying, where it's like, how do you captivate an audience? How do you captivate your musicians on stage? How do you captivate the people that you work with and leave that impact and leave that presence wherever you go? That's something we can't teach people.
Yeah, but how do we interview somebody? I mean, that's ultimately like somebody may apply or we may reach out to somebody, and if they have just those, from what you can tell from Instagram or social media, if they have like, all right, you can just tell by the way someone's smiling or the way that they took a picture, you're like, all right, there's something special about that person. And then, of course, you just do usually a little phone or Zoom interview to just kind of see what type of energy they put off. If that goes well, come in for an audition, see where their music knowledge is. If all of that goes well, come out to an event, shadow us, and we talk about all the bad of the industry. And if they're cool with all the bad, you'll kick ass at the gig. I think so many like professors in school, like they just whatever you're doing, they just talk about the good. Like, you can make this money, you can do this. Nobody talks about the time away from family and all. Like, you're gonna listen, if you want to be a DJ, you got to work all week to work on the weekends. So you're not gonna have days off. Anytime someone's having an event, like, you're gonna be there. You're not gonna be able to be at your own event.
And we also get the quarterback treatment, where you get, if everything goes great, you get the glory. If everything is falling off the tracks, you're the one that's going to catch all the shit.
Right.
And
You get that email from Marylen going, "We need to talk."
Yeah.
And some people are cool with getting the glory, but they're not cool with taking the shit, or
Right.
they can't handle the pressure. They can't handle when things go off the rails and they don't know how to respond, and it's
The
falling,
power
and
blows
it's
out.
up
Yeah,
to it's
like
up to you to save it, and it's up to you to like bring the team back. Like, yeah, you're down 3 touchdowns. You're the quarterback. You need to this is what you're facing. You gotta win the game. That's the part where, the part that, like Ross was saying, like, you don't know that part. Like, everyone's
Right.
cool when everything is going great, but not necessarily when everything is not going so great. And you still have to play the same. You still have to keep your composure. You still have to do all those things under both situations. And, some people aren't cut out for that.
Talk to me about how do you deal with the Uncle Bobs and the Tia Margaritas?
The Uncle Bobs. We call those Boca Bobs.
Can you play Sweet Caroline? Can you play
Touchy
La
song.
Conga?
Yeah, right. Talking about when they request just like
Some old ass shit that
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
wants to fucking listen to.
Yeah, but listen. People always ask, like, "Ross, what's your favorite song?" And I'm like, whatever song that works in that moment, and if it works, like, that's my favorite song, right? Sweet Caroline, I know you're hating on it. If you play it at the wrong
If they
time,
during dinner, it could be fun.
well,
Well, I'm not a DJ, but
I think with requests, requests can be great. Like, sometimes requests are really awesome. They give you songs that you may not have thought to play it, and you're like, oh wow, that really will
Worked,
work.
right.
So if it's a request that makes sense for the room, requests are fine. I think where requests become, an inconvenience, for lack of a better term, is when people
I can't believe people still do that to begin with.
are requesting songs with not realizing where they are, who's dancing, and just kind of being tone deaf to what they're asking for, and then getting disappointed when we kind of say, like, that's not really like what is happening right now. So yeah, I guess it just all depends on what they're asking for, when they're asking for it, and it just depends on the situation. But requests in and of itself, I don't think necessarily bother us. I think it's just when people are just like tone deaf on what they're asking.
Yeah, the dance floor is packed and with something else, and they're lighting up their phones now and being like, "Please play Bad Bunny."
yeah, 100%.
Have you had any wild moments like that where someone kind of steps out of line or gets a little?
Yeah.
Was it you and I both on that one event in Boca at Woodfield?
Those damn Boca people.
Right. I don't know if you were on this one. Yeah, I know. I just keep going to Boca. But no, this was years ago, where there was just a drunk guest that kept requesting stuff. And it was not the vibe of what was happening. It was also the bride and groom were like, "Hey, don't listen to anything this guy says." And we just kept kind of politely ignoring him. And then we started getting a little bit rude back with him of like, "Dude, just leave us alone." And then he stood on a side stage, like, ready to fight all of us. Security came in, everybody, like, cops are called. He got kicked out of the wedding. But it's insane how passionate some people can be on requesting a song, and if you don't play it like at that exact moment or ever, they want to murder you.
It's not even their party.
They want to kill you.
So I had a similar experience.
I'm sure this happens to you guys too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys weren't the DJ, and poor DJ, it definitely wasn't his fault. Bride and groom gave him a list of what to play.
Yeah.
But there's a sequence to the night, the beginning. You can't. You want to bring people up to the dance floor, right? So you can't play those, explicit lyric songs until it gets a little bit later.
Some more
And you-
drinks in the
Yeah, let it
and
get
you
a little
gotta-
ratchet.
And you gotta read the crowd, right? We
Yeah.
can get ratchet at the end, but
Right.
in the beginning, you have to please every age group.
Right.
But the groom was celebrity. And
The groom was?
The groom
Okay.
was. And he, DJ was doing his job, kind of getting the crowd together with, age appropriate music. And the groom went up to him and was like, fuck that. Come on, play this, play that. And the DJ's like, he's paying, like, what do I do? I was like, listen, throw it in every once in a while, but he wasn't having it. So the DJ had to switch completely and just play all of the ratchet stuff.
Did it work?
No.
Yeah.
It didn't, because then he had upset guests
Yeah.
in the other age group going up to him being like, hey man, you were just playing Nelly, you were just playing this, like what happened?
Yeah.
What do you do? Has that happened to you? Who controls it? The celebrity who's your guest? Or are you guys like, I know what the fuck I'm doing, give me a minute.
Well, was the groom the celebrity? Okay, so he essentially was part of the client. So something like that, I mean, I know when I have to play something that's not working for the masses, I usually blame it on the bride and groom, like in some sort of a fun way. Hey, we got this song, blah, blah, blah. Special request by your bride, let's go. I kind of make it like an MC thing, but I'm also educating the audience. And then if I have to hit, I'll say it again. Another special request by your groom, let's go. Next song, another special request, But I'm trying to protect myself because people are looking at you like, this DJ sucks. He's not reading the room, and you're only as good as your last gig. And what they don't understand is like, and this happens to you guys, I'm sure too, but when you do this for a living, you're only as good as your last gig. And everybody who's out there are our future clients.
Yeah.
Like that groom is kind of one and done right there.
Luckily for us, those situations are more.
They've gotten better.
Or more from like rogue guests versus bride
the
and
actual
groom.
couple.
Reason
right.
being, like, we have such a good team in place that we try to, like, fish out those red flags way beforehand. Like, shout out to Elvis and Priscilla, our music team.
Yeah.
They do all the finalizing before, and they discuss music ad nauseum. And if there is going to be a red flag, we try to squash it and address it in the moment, because our ultimate goal is like everything from Ross and Brittany and Lauren to sales all the way through the whole process is the goal is to set up the DJ and the musicians for success, and they're our soldiers going out to fight the battle for us. So us as the generals and the commanders, it's our job to set them in the best position to succeed. So we don't want our DJ walking in with, weird music that they need to play, walking into any surprises where they're not going to know what's happening. So if there is a groom or someone that's going to be super controlling, we're going to let them know way beforehand and hopefully be able to address the situation so our people aren't walking into a buzzsaw when they get there. So that's the whole point of having a great team.
It's a buzzsaw. That's why
we
love working with you, because I feel like you're doing a show like this to let clients and outsiders like really understand the mindset of vendors, like
where we're coming from.
We work together every week, right? You work
Exactly.
with your vendors every week. Yeah, it's no one's in front of the other, but it's kind of like 1A and 1B. They're both very important. But that's why I feel like every time we work with you, if we have a client that is taking us away from really who we are, you're really good about bringing them back in of like, listen, we're here. We booked Rock with you for a reason. Let them do them. We will sprinkle in some of your stuff, but yeah, so I don't know, just a little shout out. Thank you.
Thank you.
It helps.
So, and I'm a firm believer of you hire professionals to do their job. If I got to be on top of you, I'm not hiring the right person.
Yeah, you have enough stress. The last thing you want to do is worry about us.
You've seen me at weddings and I'm like, ready to go? Okay.
Yeah.
It's time for Hora Loca. Ready? Okay, ready? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Last song. All right, ready? Wrap it up.
That's how it should be.
That's
how it should be.
That's it. You guys read the crowd extremely well. That dance floor is always packed. The energy is there. So there's no need for,
micromanaging.
The micromanaging.
Yeah.
I'm not a micromanager. Never have been.
Yeah.
If I have to, I'm not hiring you. And huge shout out to Elvis. God bless him. That man.
He's so good, right?
He has the patience of a saint. He has talked to my clients. They've had 1,000 questions. He'll go back with them, and always with a smile on his face. And even over the phone, like you can hear the energy. We had a wedding. Bro, we had a wedding once. Poor thing. And the groom canceled the wedding the morning of. So I called Elvis.
Was this last year?
No, this was 2020. beginning of 2020. This is how we knew how the rest of the fucking year was gonna go.
Oh, before COVID, this is the beginning.
Literally 2 weeks before COVID.
Wow,
So
early
I called
March.
Elvis and I'm like, he's like, hey Marylen, we're ready to rock. We're on the way to you. And I was like, no, you're not, buddy. You're gonna turn that car and go right back because this wedding isn't happening. And he's like, what? Are you serious? Oh my God, should we wait? We can be on the way and just set up and just wait it out. And I'm like, this isn't happening. Like,
Wow.
I'll send you a professional email so you have the cancellation. But amazing job by him.
Yeah.
Totally amazing job.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
I'll relay the message.
Yeah, please do.
He's the man. That particular position,
Yeah.
it's tough
Yeah.
because everyone is at the 11th hour and they start freaking out and they want to do this and they want to change that and he's trying to make the client happy but also knows what our product is, so he has to find that happy medium and he does such a good job.
I also want you guys to talk to the audience a bit. When you have entertainers, I'm sick of the hora loca. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. I'm just sick of it. I don't mind if they come in.
You may not be soon enough.
I know,
We'll leave it at that.
It's the perfect time to talk about it.
But listen, the way that I try to talk to these entertainment companies, and as you guys know, it's tough because I have to come to you with the fucking MP3 and be like, can you play this? And I'm tired of that music. And I tell my client, let's talk to the entertainment. If they want to play 10, 15 minutes of that music, fine. But I want the DJ. This is what we're paying them for. We're paying them good money because I want to hear the DJ play the music. And the entertainers can still entertain with the music that you guys going on.
Yeah.
How do you get that point across, and how do you kind of like deliver that so that these hora loca people aren't playing danza kuduro over and over again?
100%. To go back to what we're saying as far as the process, the people, we have the people in place, we got the process in place, and we have the product in place, the triple P's there, right? And it's all of those things. When we know we have a hora loca on that event that weekend, we just communicate that before the wedding even starts. And so we'll talk with the La Hora Loca team that's doing it and the bride and groom. So everybody just kind of knows of like, hey, they gave us a 45-minute track. Sometimes the crowd will go all 45 minutes. 99% of the time, about that 25-minute mark, the crowd's kind of like, I love the energy, but I'm ready for some house. I don't need to hear Carnival Cruise Line, kind of Latin, like the follow alongs. Like, it was really cool for the first 20 minutes. Now let's do the same thing, but let's do it to some festival forward type stuff, which is what we're creating. When we're super pumped up to tell you about it. But we are like, we'll let you know. Is this a good time to talk about it, or am I opening?
I think we should
I'm
get
so
exclusive.
excited.
You
Yeah,
know?
we should get exclusive.
Yeah.
All the stuff that you are saying, like we've seen it, we feel it. So like, okay, let's channel like what people are trying to accomplish with it, but let's do it the Rock With You way. So
Love this.
Yeah.
I love this.
This is exciting. Are we going to get a different name? Or is this gonna be
Yeah,
Hora
this
Loca?
is all in the beginning phases, and we know a lot. Don't want to say certain things, but we are excited. Ultimately,
copyright that name.
it's just a new age, crazy hour. You know what I mean?
It's a crazy hour.
Yeah, exactly. For us gringos over here, but it's going to be a crazy hour, and we can go Latin, we can go more festival forward, or we can go open format, which is going to be a good mix. And
Heard it here first.
more fashion forward costuming and wardrobe, more up to date props, skits, things that are just more in tune with the age group that's out right now.
It just kind of fits in line with
Yeah.
everything that's already happening. So, but the idea is to complement it versus just trying to like inject it and force it on, whatever's happening.
So and so we're so excited because I know as a planner, you're probably always like, I want to bring something new to the table for my clients. And so we'll keep you posted on this. We're really excited about
I'm
it.
excited. Too.
So now
feel like
I
the
want to turn
industry's
the
overdue.
tables to the two of you.
Okay.
So as business partners, have there been a high rope, tight rope moment where the two of you are like, oh fuck, this is not working. I'm gonna fall. He's gonna fall. It's not gonna work. It's gonna work. Where the two of you had a struggle, falling out, a moment of, I don't know if I'm gonna do this with them. Anything there you could talk to us about?
Not one.
Never.
Get the fuck out
Not
of
one.
here.
20 years, man. I tell people
Not
this.
one.
It's kind of like Ross and I are different in the ways that we need to be different, and we're the same in the ways that we need to be the same. And it's like a true, it's like a true harmony.
Partnership, yeah.
It's a true harmony. It's like there's never been one moment where I think either of us have like doubt it or there's a mutual respect and we both understand where each other is coming from. We're in it for a common goal, and we know that, you know, neither of us is going to take advantage of each other, and that we both have each other's best interest and our common goal at heart. So yeah, knock on wood, there's never been one moment where there's ever been like a questioning or anything other than
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like we really, my strengths are his weaknesses. His strengths are my weaknesses. It's just a true partnership. We've gotten into fights before and like arguments, and it's never personal. And the best part about the way we argue is he talks, I talk. He talks, I talk.
There's
We're
respect.
never going over each other. We're just so passionate about whatever it is. And then literally, I'm telling you, within seconds after a disagreement or us just yelling and cursing, it's like, all right, well, whatever. Enough of this dumb shit. Are you ready to go watch the Chiefs game? We got to get out of here. And they'll be like, yeah, bro, like, sounds good. Let's go. Are we carpooling?
I think because both of us come from sports backgrounds, we just call it locker room talk, where like we get into it in the locker room, we're in the heat of the moment, where whatever it is, and then afterwards it's like, okay, it doesn't change the reality of what's going on.
Yeah.
I can't relate to any of that.
Really? Do you have a business partner with?
No. It's just myself. It's myself. But also like the locker room concept. Like I get pissed at her, and I'm pissed at her for a couple days.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
No, but I've seen your guys' content, and this is what I was complimenting you to. Like you two,
We're a bickering old couple.
you are a bickering old married couple for sure. Not old. You're a bickering young couple. You know what I mean? And but I was complimenting you before we hit record on this. Is like, watch out for the popcorn.
Yeah.
And
The popcorn.
that I see, you know, just watching your videos and the dynamic, I could totally see you guys bickering like, no, we need to do this for the show. We need to do this. And then at the end, it's like, all right, whatever, let's go get some food. And, you know, I can see
I'll
you
tell you
guys.
this, there's definitely a respect for each other's craft, for sure. You know, I don't tell him like how to photograph his shit. He doesn't tell me. And if we have good feedback, we have feedback for each other on how to make each other much better. You know, we tell each
It's
other,
constructive
Yeah,
feedback.
it's constructive feedback after the fuck you, no, go fuck yourself, blah, blah. And then we're like,
Right.
okay, well.
Understood.
And then back to out of the locker room.
Understood.
Totally.
You want to do the quick fire?
So I have the quick fire questions for you guys.
Quick fire.
All right.
Don't think, just speak.
I always
Just
get
speak.
scared of these when I see other people doing it.
listen.
Yeah.
Breathe. It's fine.
You guys need like those hot wings here, like the hot, you know what I'm saying?
Hot ones?
You should do that for the next one.
Hot croquetas.
Yeah.
Hot croquetas.
Yeah.
So-
You guys. Or some wedding food,
If you
yeah.
could create a fantasy lineup for an event featuring DJs from different eras, rock with you, Chella. Who would it be and why?
DJs from different eras.
DJs, or can it be a band? And then DJ started like in the 80s kind of thing?
Sometimes
Like,
fusion.
Yeah. Who would be your 70s pick?
oh man,
Let's see.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, Cool in the Gang.
I mean, Michael Jackson's gonna be
MJ.
my
That was the first concert I ever went to.
Yeah, you saw MJ? Yeah, I think Michael Jackson, whether you want to call it 70s or 80s, I mean, he's got to be in there somewhere. I
Yeah.
mean, the company is named after one of his songs, so I feel like just something
Who would be
I
your
know.
80s?
appropriate.
Can we continue Michael Jackson
Sure.
into the 80s?
Yeah.
No, but I think the 80s is like when it started, the 80s hip hop, the Rapper's Delight, the Sugar Hill
Pepper.
Gangs started kind of coming in.
Okay.
I guess that was kind of late 80s.
I guess Michael Jackson, would be, I guess he kind of ruled the 80s. So
Yeah.
I think we need
Yeah.
to give the 80s to MJ.
Okay.
I mean,
He's taken. 90s?
DJ wise,
it's tough, like, because I think with,
would you bring in like a Dr. Dre kind of
I was
guy?
going to say, like, maybe Biggie or Tupac.
You'd have to bring in that era.
guys.
You know what I mean? It would just be,
That's how it is, man.
MJ, Biggie.
Tupac, Prince, like, they're all.
that was that drastic change,
no longer
you
with
know?
us. 2000s, probably Justin Timberlake. And then 2010s, Bruno Mars.
Oh, okay.
Do you still get Bruno Mars?
What would you get? And who would be your 2020? We're halfway there.
I do want to talk about Bruno, super important, but we'll get to that.
All right.
Who closes out your 2020?
Probably.
DJ wise, I mean, man,
It's tough. I think because with us, like, I think we model ourselves more after like musicians and bands. I think for me, like, when I go into it, I have like, I feel like I'm more of like a musician that I'm channeling. Like, my instrument is the turntable, so I never really like see myself as a DJ. I see myself as a musician. So like my inspirations have always been bands and music acts and like performing a concert versus performing as a DJ. So I think it's hard for like I don't really have too many DJ inspirations. Personally.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I think it's why it's tough to like name like, oh yeah, this DJ is like the one I want to be like.
If I had to close out this year with a DJ, I'd probably go like a Diplo, because Diplo plays a lot of. We've had a few gigs with him throughout the years, and he's just such a good dude. And all of his songs are good sing-along songs. Like it's not just like EDM house music instrumental with a sprinkle of lyrics. Like he knows. So he's playing country remixes, a lot of country of kind of who he is from Philly and a Florida boy.
Tiesto's like that too.
Yeah.
Like Tiesto actually like he DJs and he's very in tune with his audience. And he's been doing that for 25 years. So he's like he's the man.
All right. If your life had a soundtrack, what 3 tracks would definitely be on it, and what significance do they hold to you?
What Kansas City Chiefs songs are there?
What 3 songs would be our soundtrack and why?
Soundtrack of your life. Yeah.
Well, I think to go back to what Slim said, I mean, our whole life is our career. How I feed my family is through our company Rock With You. And we didn't name our company Rock With You off of that song, but that was a little bit of wordplay with it. And so Rock With You is definitely a number 1 for sure of the soundtrack. Hit something, Slim. There's got to be something out there for me that's not so corny, but it's more of like just implies like having a fucking good time. It's almost not even a mainstream. Something like reggae, like a
3 Little Birds.
3 Little Birds, Bob Marley. That's actually like we close out almost every Rock With You gig with 3 Little Birds. Really? That's kind of like our last song.
Signature.
Everybody is just like, don't worry.
Quintessential song for good vibes.
Rock With You, 3 Little Birds. And then I would say something for me, old school hip hop, like Tupac, How Do You Want It? Or you know what I mean? Something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Last question. What do you think the future of DJing looks like in 10 years?
Well, assuming that AI hasn't taken over or the robots haven't taken us over. It's hard to say. I think everything will be like a different, it'll evolve, but some things will still remain the same. Ultimately, I think AI can only replace so much. I don't think it'll ever replace art, because, I think that's an essential part of the human experience, is being an artist. And, I've experimented and asked ChatGPT for what it would choose. And like, it just doesn't, I can never get it to give me what I'm looking for, and I come to the conclusion, okay, yeah, well, it's because you're not a human and you're thinking like a robot, not thinking like a human. So maybe there's some evolution, maybe technology changes, maybe ways of doing it, but I think at the heart of it is like you need to be the artist, and just maybe the canvas and the paint and the paintbrush change, but the artist is still there.
All right.
When it's all said and done.
Great analogy.
Right?
I have one last question before Manolo wraps this up. Talk to me about being at a gig and having a musician celebrity in the audience. How did that pressure feel like?
One of my favorites was a wedding up in Jupiter, and George Strait was a guest. And being from Kearney, Missouri, a small little farm town north of Kansas City, growing up on country music, like it's Garth Brooks and George Strait. I just love that. And it's a black tie event, and he's there in his blue jeans, didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And he came on and he performed 6 songs with us out of nowhere. And he let me MC with him. We were going back and forth. Our band backed him. Like, he was just him in front of the stage with a mic, and then our whole band backed him. What was your question?
It's like having a famous musician in the audience. Is it stressful? Is it?
Oh, so before leading up to us actually meeting him and jamming with him, he'd be at his table and we'd be jamming. I'm just like, I wonder if he's like, these guys are pretty good, or if he's like, these guys fucking suck. These guys are terrible. Like, how much is he judging us? And when I eventually got to meet him, he couldn't say enough. He was like, you guys are unbelievable. The way he kept complimenting not necessarily how well we were playing the instruments, it was how well we had the crowd. And I knew that's why George Strait's so good, is like, he just knows how to get the crowd.
There's an art form.
Yeah, it's an art form. And that's the biggest difference between us and I think other groups is like, we just know how to get the crowd.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, I'll tell you off camera because I don't know if they want me to butcher, but like did one for we'll call it rock, like royalty upon royalty. I'll tell you off camera who
Okay.
it's for.
Oh, come on.
No, I don't know if like they want
Okay.
you know, but you know, at the end of the day, like they're musicians just like we are, and they love music and they're in for it the same way that we are. So like, you know, I think a musician can recognize a great musician, and honestly, like it can be, you know, it can be pressure, but at the same time, when you just realize like, oh yeah, we're all musicians, we're all in it for the same reasons. Like, and they, you know, you get that response where like you watch him and he's digging what we're doing. It's kind of like, you know, at the end of the day, like we're all musicians. And so like that pressure kind of goes away, because I feel like real recognizes real, and a real musician will appreciate a real musician, even if they're famous and they're watching someone that isn't famous. They can appreciate the craft for what it is, because that's what they do.
Yeah.
You know.
Bam.
All right.
Let's
so
go.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today. It's been fantastic. I
Pleasure.
learned a lot about the two of you, and I'm jealous we don't have hats yet. And
It's coming. We'll get some.
we look forward to you guys returning when your new Crazy Hour has launched.
Yeah.
So we'll have to hear about that. And on behalf of Marylen
Please
and
photo
myself,
it.
we thank you and we say peace out.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you, guys.